Ah, once upon a time, remember Teletubbies? Those colorful creatures with antennas and TVs in their stomachs? They danced and played in a grassy paradise as we watched, mesmerized by their smiling faces and bright colors. They were so friendly and innocent, right? But sometimes, the things that seem the brightest hide the darkest secrets. What if I told you there was another side to the Teletubbies? A side shrouded in darkness. Imagine, if you will, a world cloaked in shadows, far from the bright meadows of Teletubbyland. A place where innocence is lost and the air hangs heavy with unspoken horrors. This is where our journey begins, in a Bulgarian mental institution, a place where hope goes to die. The story goes that within these decaying walls, a tragedy unfolded. A tragedy so ghastly, it would birth the inspiration for the Teletubbies. 4 children, each touched by a unique darkness, became the unfortunate muses for this twisted tale. They say truth is stranger than fiction, but in this case, the truth is far more horrifying. Their names, their stories have been lost to time, replaced by the vibrant monikers of Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Laa-Laa, and Po. But their pain, their suffering, echoed through the ages, whispering through the static of those belly-mounted televisions. Prepare yourself, for what you are about to hear will forever taint your perception of these seemingly innocent creatures. Like all good horror stories, this one starts innocently enough. Teletubbies, created by Ann Wood and Andrew Davenport, were intended to be educational, to teach toddlers basic concepts. They were designed to resemble toddlers themselves, with their clumsy movements, simple language, and of course those mesmerizing screens. The show was a smash hit, captivating audiences worldwide. Children were drawn to the bright colors, the repetitive songs, the hypnotic world of Teletubbyland. But as the show's popularity grew, so too did the whispers. Rumors began to circulate, dark murmurs in the playgrounds and schoolyards. At first, they were just that, rumors. Unsubstantiated claims whispered from one child to another. But like seeds planted in fertile ground, these rumors took root, growing into something darker, more insidious. They spread beyond the schoolyard, finding new life in the burgeoning online world. The internet, in its infancy, was a breeding ground for conspiracy theories. Without the gatekeeping of traditional media, anyone could post anything, and often did. It was in this digital Wild West that the dark rumors about Teletubbies truly flourished. Forums dedicated to uncovering the truth about Teletubbies popped up like mushrooms after a rain. People shared their theories, analyzed episodes for hidden messages, and dissected every aspect of the show, searching for clues to its sinister origins. The Bulgarian mental institution story emerged from this digital ether, a chilling tale that resonated with those hungry for a darker truth. It offered a stark contrast to the saccharine sweetness of Teletubbyland, a glimpse into a world where innocence was brutally extinguished. The story spread like wildfire, fueled by the anonymity of the internet. It became a digital campfire story, shared in hushed tones, a warning whispered in the dark. But this was just the beginning. The whispers were about to become screams. The Bulgarian asylum, if it ever existed, has been lost to time, swallowed by the very darkness that birthed this chilling tale. No records, no witnesses, just whispers and shadows. But the details of the story, those remain vivid, seared into the minds of those who dare to listen. They say the asylum was a place of unspeakable cruelty, where children deemed different were sent to be forgotten. Children like the four who would inspire the Teletubbies. Their stories, whispered in hushed tones, are not for the faint of heart. These children, robbed of their names, their identities, became symbols of something monstrous, their tragic fates forever intertwined with the cheerful facade of Teletubbyland. Their suffering, according to the whispers, was not just inspiration, it was a curse, woven into the very fabric of the show. But this is just the beginning of our descent into darkness. The true horror of the Teletubbies conspiracy goes far beyond a forgotten asylum. It delves into the darkest corners of the human psyche, forcing us to confront the monsters we create, the shadows we choose to ignore. Are you ready to go deeper? The whispers start with Tinky Winky, the purple Teletubby, always clutching his red handbag. They say he represents the first victim, a deaf boy. Imagine a child, alone in a world without sound, trapped in a place where his silence was met with cruelty, not compassion. This boy, they say, found solace in the smallest of things, a scrap of red fabric, a piece of a blanket perhaps, clutched tightly in his hand. It was his only comfort in the cold, sterile world of the asylum. This small token of comfort, twisted by the darkness, became Tinky Winky's iconic handbag. But the whispers don't end there. They speak of a winter, harsher than the rest, when the boy wandered out into the courtyard, drawn by a moment of quiet beauty, the sight of snowflakes falling softly on the ground. And there they say he was forgotten, left outside, exposed to the biting wind and the relentless snow. They say his cries for help went unanswered, lost in the silence of his world, the coldness seeping into his bones, turning his fingers a horrifying shade of purple. The image of Tinky Winky forever dancing in that endless summer field takes on a sinister new meaning. Is it a reminder of the boy's stolen innocence? His laughter silenced forever by the cold embrace of death? Our gaze shifts to Dipsy, the green Teletubby, always sporting a jaunty hat. His story, if the whispers are to be believed, is one of agonizing hunger, of a body slowly wasting away. They say Dipsy represents a boy consumed by starvation, his life force draining away day by day. Imagine a child, his stomach gnawing with hunger, his body weak and frail, existing in a haze of pain and delirium. The whispers tell of a boy who was denied the most basic human need, left to wither away in a corner, his cries for sustenance ignored. They say he would vomit, unable to keep down even the meager scraps of food he was given, his body rejecting any form of nourishment. The stench of his suffering, they say, permeated the air, a constant reminder of the cruelty inflicted upon him. The jaunty hat Dipsy wears, a symbol of carefree joy, takes on a chilling new meaning. They say it represents the only nourishment the boy received, a daily dose of medication, a bitter pill to swallow in a world that had already swallowed his hope. Dipsy's constant dancing, his seemingly endless energy, becomes a cruel mockery of the boy's slow, agonizing decline. Was it a desperate attempt to outrun the gnawing hunger, the relentless pain that consumed him from the inside out? Next, we turn to Laa-Laa, the yellow Teletubby, her antenna always bobbing cheerfully. Her story is perhaps the most heartbreaking a tale of isolation, of a beauty deemed monstrous by the world. They say Laa-Laa embodies the spirit of a young girl, her face disfigured, hidden away from the world. Imagine a child, her laughter echoing through the cold, empty halls of the asylum, her only companion a large orange ball. They say this girl possessed a unique beauty, a spirit that shone brighter than any star, but her physical appearance was deemed different, unsettling. The whispers speak of a girl who longed for connection, for the touch of another human being, but was denied even the simplest of human interactions. They say she was kept isolated, her world reduced to the four walls of her cell and that solitary orange ball. Laa-Laa's cheerful disposition, her love of singing and dancing, takes on a haunting new dimension. Was it a way to cope with the crushing loneliness, the unbearable silence of her solitary existence? Was it a desperate attempt to cling to a shred of hope, a belief that one day someone would see beyond her outward appearance and recognize the beauty that resided within? Poe's pyre. And finally, we come to Poe, the youngest of the Teletubbies, always zipping around on her scooter. Her story is the most disturbing, the most difficult to comprehend. They say Poe represents a young girl, her life tragically cut short in a fiery inferno. Imagine a child, full of life, her laughter echoing through the halls. They say this girl possessed a contagious joy, a zest for life, but her light, they say, was extinguished far too soon. The whispers tell of a fire that ripped through the asylum. They say the fire started in the girl's room, its cause shrouded in mystery. Some whisper of faulty wiring, others of a cruel prank gone wrong. Poe's scooter, a symbol of her youthful energy, becomes a haunting reminder of the tragedy. They say it was found amidst the charred remains of the girl's room. Was it a cruel twist of fate, a final insult to a life cut tragically short? Poe's love of dancing, her infectious laughter, takes on a new, heartbreaking meaning. But what if the truth is even darker? What if the asylum, the children, the fire are all just distractions? What if the Teletubbies are conduits for something far more ancient, far more insidious? Those vacant smiles, those hypnotic dances, those repetitive songs. They're tools of manipulation designed to lull us into a state of passive acceptance. The screens on their stomachs, they're portals, transmitting a signal directly into our subconscious. Some whisper of forgotten gods, using the Teletubbies as puppets to manipulate our reality. Their seemingly innocent antics take on a new, sinister meaning. The signal emanating from Teletubbyland is subtle, insidious. It seeps into our minds, our dreams, our very souls, whispering promises of peace, of happiness, of a world without pain or suffering. But these promises, they say, are a lie, a trap designed to lull us into a state of blissful ignorance. The true purpose of the signal, according to the whispers, is far more sinister. It's designed to weaken us, to make us more susceptible to their influence. They're preparing us for something big, something terrifying. But there are those who resist, those who see through the facade, who recognize the signal for what it truly is. They fight back, spreading the word, trying to warn others of the impending danger. But their voices are drowned out by the constant barrage of the signal, their warnings dismissed as paranoia, as madness. The battle for our minds has begun, and the Teletubbies, those seemingly innocent creatures, are on the front lines. The question is, whose side are they really on? And are we strong enough to resist their insidious influence? From the bright meadows of Teletubbyland to the dark corners of the internet, Our journey through the twisted world of Teletubby conspiracies has taken us to some unsettling places. We've explored the depths of human cruelty, the fragility of innocence, and the terrifying possibility that things are not always as they seem. But amidst the darkness, one question lingers: why? Why do we feel compelled to create these dark narratives around something as seemingly innocent as a children's show? Perhaps it's our innate need to make sense of the world, to find order in chaos, even if it means inventing monsters where none exist. Perhaps it's our fear of the unknown, our need to shine a light on the darkness, even if that light reveals something unsettling, something we'd rather not see. Or perhaps, just perhaps, there's a grain of truth buried within these seemingly outlandish theories, a seed of doubt that takes root in our minds, whispering that maybe, just maybe, we're not as in control as we think we are. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: the Teletubbies, those colorful ambassadors of childhood joy, have taken on a life of their own, their image forever tainted by the whispers, the rumors, the dark fantasies we project onto them. They serve as a stark reminder that even in the brightest of meadows, shadows lurk, and sometimes the things that seem the most innocent can hide the darkest of secrets.
Where have the Teletubbies gone?